Hold on 1 second, man. Let's take it down to Texas real quick, man. One West for Universal. Let's talk to him.
When I roll around my city, all I see is our sin. The product of the environment we was raised in. You see, hell is conditioned, cell made by men. The choices that we make, that box of sin. When I roll around my city, all I see is our sin. The product of the environment we was raised in. You see, hell is conditioned, cell made by men. The choices that we make, that box of sin. In this nation, my skin is my sin, a menace to society. Laws made because they feel the greatness inside of it. Crackhead on the corner can sing like Ryan Osley, and we run from the cops like track meets the irony. Cause every nigga in the Olympics straight out the hood, and we get where we come from when it's all good. $1 million slave with survivor remorse, that's textbook. Looks divide and conquer, inspire others to work harder for minimum wage. To shine like you won't send a page. Welcome to the rat race. Now you a spring, you look down on those can keep your pace. These young bulls is Lazarus, the man in the mirror looking you in the face. You reap what you sow, the fruit will grow from every tree, that's how you know. Friend from foe, that set the triangle, pass baton like the rock and give and go. You either build or destroy, make your choice, bro. When I roll around my city, all I see is our sin. The product of the environment we was raised in. You see, hell is conditioned, cell made by men. The choices that we make, that box of sin. When I roll around my city, all I see is our sin. The product of the environment we was raised in. You see, hell is conditioned, cell made by men. The choices that we make, that box of sin. All these atrocities in my isosceles cause animosity when hope is a limited commodity. Rats in the race of opportunity with success rates. It's a low probability. I mean they build a prison before we even leave elementary. And Christianity got our people retarded spiritually. I mean seriously, you're gonna be in heaven with those that committed genocide on your ancestry. I'd rather be in hell where at least you know your enemy. Make it make sense to me. Most you got native in your blood and celebrate Thanksgiving. Work you like a Hebrew slave and won't entertain a simple possibility. The Jew is you. Simply, in reality, they call you anti-Semitic. The viscosity of a carbon copy, the shame, originality. The kingdom of heaven is within. We just saw the earth, the children of God. When I roll around my city, all I see is our sin. The product of the environment we was raised in. You see, hell is conditioned, cell made by men. The choices that we make, that box of sin. When I roll around my city, all I see is our sin. The product of the environment we was raised in. You see, hell is conditioned, cell made by men. The choices that we make, that box of sin.
You've been wicked to the Most High's children, man. You've been destructive to the 12 tribes of Israel. Let me tell you something, black man. You got to put on your strength now, man. Put back on your strength and might, black man, because your day is coming. Your day is coming because the Lord is going to bring judgment on this earth. The Lord wants black men to be able to be men again. The Lord wants to stop the white man from killing our babies in the abortion clinics. The Lord wants us to get off the drugs and then raise our families back up to be the men and women of the Lord, man. But there's something in the middle of us right now. What is that? That Christian church, man. Get with me, brothers. Joel, the 3rd chapter, 1st verse. Read it loud.
Joel, chapter 3, verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles.
Yeah, go ahead.
Prepare war.
Do what?
Prepare war.
You hear what the Lord said? Declare this among the Gentiles, man. Why? Because it don't look like they're going to war now. It look like they in control and in power of everything. But for the prophets of the Lord that know exactly what's going to happen in the earth, we know that it's time to prepare for war.
Hold on 1 second, man. Let's take it down to Texas real quick, man. One West for Universal. Let's talk to him.
When I roll around my city, all I see is our sin. The product of the environment we was raised in. You see, hell is conditioned, cell made by men. The choices that we make, that box of sin. When I roll around my city, all I see is our sin. The product of the environment we was raised in. You see, hell is conditioned, cell made made by men. The choices that we make, that box of sin. In this nation, my skin is my sin, a menace to society. Laws made because they feel the greatness inside of it. Crackhead on the corner can sing like Ryan Osley, and we run from the cops like track meets the irony. Cause every nigga in the Olympics straight out the hood, and we get where we come from when it's all good. $1 million slave with survivor remorse, that's textbook. Looks divide and conquer, inspire others to work harder for minimum wage. To shine like you on center page. Welcome to the rat race. Now you a spin, you look down on those can keep your pace. These young bulls is Lazarus, the man in the mirror looking you in the face. You reap what you sow, the fruit will grow from every tree. That's how you know. Friends from fro that set the triangle, pass the time like the rock and give and go. You either build or destroy, make your choice, bro. When I roll around my city, all I see is our sin. The product of the environment we was raised in. You see, hell is conditioned, a cell made by men. The choices that we make, that box of sin.
Oh yeah, ooh Lord, and if you don't give it, you won't get it, that's right. I give her all my love. Hey, run that shit up, Chase.
I came from the streets to the shy, where wicked and evil collide. If it was illegal, we tried ambition to get us a piece of the pie. Had so many demons inside, was them in the gleam of my eye. Killing my innocence, all of my vision of reading the sign and seeing demise. We've been deprived of basic necessities, that and cocaine, a satanic recipe. Refusing to claim it as destiny, sins of the fatherly children in jeopardy. The family addiction affected me, affliction of prison, the death of me. Not even the thought of my legacy, living in hell, how you hating your pedigree. Been definitely holding the grudge, letting it go cause no hoe is in us. If we don't connect then you know what it was. One West and no cowards is rolling with us. Steps was all in the mud, feeling the pain like salt in the cut. The blessing is all of these lessons, no question we taught them in blood. It's all for the love, yeah. The blessing is all of these lessons, no question we taught them in blood. It's all for the love. The blessing is all of these lessons, no question we taught them in blood. It's all for the love.
And if you don't give it, you won't get it, that's right. I give her all my love.
Alright, we gonna take it to the new school right now. My man Shaw, South Cat, holding it down. You know we waiting on y'all. We sit back waiting on them chariots. Hey yo Shaw, let them know, come on.
Talking about how much money you got, but in reality, the Lord just got you there, don't watch it fall. What's gonna save you in the end, but if you don't know, comprehend, choose knowledge over silver and gold. No, we ain't the same, I'm in the UPK. Ordained by the Lord to drop the jewels to poverty. The poverty, it looks so wild when we out on this bitch. And no, we don't play no games, so stay home, little kids. It's like a sword what we say, but it's in the game like EA. Boy, know your lane like freeways, or I have to see like CJ. I got my grind and replay, but I want your life like relay. I'm at they neck, cause I'm up next, nigga. In my chariot, I pick you up from uptown, uptown. Hey, niggas swear they gotta hit, we'll batter up now, up now. But we are not the same. I'm a priest in private, okay. Got money paying tithes for me. My people starving like some damn puppies. I'm a big dog, use a damn puppet. The lowest nigga in the school can probably show you something. Somebody bring me some wine. Is it my baby? That's Lil' Bae. I call her that cause she whine. I'm in my mood, that's all the way. I should've been named prime time. But I'm a prince, so call me Shaw, and I'll be quite fine. Yeah. Chariot and I'm whipping. I whip it like a new slave, the rose is different. Whip a devil for fun, cause he looks suspicious. Can't take the heat, we'll get your pussy ass off my list. Remember the days of old, could've booked the vision. I got a penny in my pocket, so I can't afford to skip it. Can't afford to forget it. Affected by it, me and my niggas. Dear Lord, let me get them, okay. Immaterial, I pick you up from uptown. Hey, niggas swear they gotta hit what batter up now. But we are not the same. I'm a priest in private, okay.
You already know we preach the prophets of the Lord. It's only us and nobody else, man.
No, we go to ground.
Let's take it to the concrete real quick. Let's take it back to the bricks.
You know when they come up.
You know what we do. We represent for our niggas, man. Our niggas, let's go.
Already was born ready. I'm more ready. I'm saying this now, making sure that the more ready. Yeah. We got some drop-offs, battle formation, I'm waiting for you to pop off. Right after you make your first move, get your rocks off. Next thing you'll head to the dirt, we are not soft. I took a loss, but nah, I ain't panicking. I be making moves, you staying still like a mannequin. Think you got the force, but shit, I'm feeling like Anakin. Hit the chick with the lightsaber, might save her. Doing moves tight major with light paper. And H-Town on them blades like an ice skater. Yeah. At that one West Passover, sit down, take a seat to the class over. Far from sober, but I ain't puffin' on Doja. Bartender, bring me tequila. Hold the soda, shit. Hold the ice too, flood it like a typhoon. We can get 6 shooters, 10 paces, high noon. We had Player Street, all-star studded like it's all-star weekend with all my brothers. Ain't nobody fucking round with my niggas. You know who I go to ground with, my niggas. You know when they come around, if they wanna clown, then we gun them down for my niggas. Ain't nobody fucking round with my niggas. You know who I go to ground with, my niggas. You know when they come around, if they wanna clown, then we gun them down for my niggas. Ride for my, die for my niggas. Make sure me and the squad solidified. I'm down to ride, go to war like I did the job. You niggas whores, I'm the ball, plus I've been the vibe. You can't feel me, unless you sip 100 proof. I got 100 soldiers with me, that's 200 boots. We get to stomping like a Kappa or a Q. But don't mistake me for no rapper, I'm the Jew. The streets cold, so I throw on the cover. You a bitch, don't get mad at me, get mad at your mother. Put my life on the line like I got me another. Yeah, shit, it's like I'm on another level here. You second tier, I'm pulling guns, that's on Metal Gear. It's hell out here, but shit, I die heavenly. AK equipped with the drum, it holds 70. Twin revolvers, bucket you ducks like Yosemite. Yeah, I hear a lot of rappers puffing on their enemies. I don't smoke, but I drink they tears like it's Hennessy. Yeah, nigga, but it is what it is. Ain't no nicotine, but I is with the cig. I just had a dream and I did what I did. And Philly bodies dropping every day where I live. So I don't even wanna hear about rappers. Heavy gut punch, knock the air out rappers. Ain't nobody fucking round with my niggas. You know who I go to ground with, my niggas. You know when they come around, if they wanna clown, then we gun them down for my niggas. Ain't nobody fucking round with my niggas. You know who I go to ground with, my niggas. You know when they come around, if they wanna clown, then we gun them down for my niggas. For my niggas. My niggas, alright. Ride for my, die for my, cry for my niggas.
You know what time it is, y'all. I don't know how many times I gotta tell y'all, man. This brotherhood is crazy. And all we do is rep for our niggas. Forever.
Welcome to Atlanta. Christ, this Officer 5000, Jeremiah Yachty, camp leader of Atlanta. Passover 2025, starting April the 9th, we got the lamb slaughter. April the 10th, we got General Muhammad's class. April 11th, we got the Black Party that's going to have the Hebrew graduation. April the 12th, in Atlanta, Georgia, the 56th annual Passover, the only Passover under Community Junior Honor.
Our great and holy King has honored us for turning our lives from the darkness to the light, man. And no greater gift you can receive than to wake up to the truth and then commit your life to saving your brothers, man. Looking in their eyes and seeing their faces and seeing what they've suffered and what they've gone through and seeing the end of it, man. It is a guaranteed seat in the kingdom of heaven, man. So in the name of our King Yahushua, we dedicate us another Passover of brothers and sisters' lives being saved.
April the 13th, we got the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Shalom.
All right, clap it up. All right, shalom. Yahweh Shem Yahshua to the brothers. Yahweh Shemar Allah Shem Yahshua to the sisters. We are the Isupk, the Israelite School, Universal Practical Knowledge, established in 1969, 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We are led by Commander General Yohana. We are not affiliated with any other organization. Israel, pay your tithes, man. Pay your tithes and get ready for the Lord's 56th annual Passover, April 12th in Atlanta, Georgia. Make sure that you get your lodging straight, your travel arrangements straight. Save a couple dollars for the vendors, for the nightlife, and see what ATL has to offer now that one of their beloved princes had been dethroned, and we got that out of the way now. Atlanta can have a straighter line of sight to the truth. All these imposters parading around, doing damage to the nation. You know what I'm saying? So we are doing the closing of the Feast of Pruim in Milwaukee at our new school headquarters, 4221 West North Avenue, Unit 1, right on Front Street here, man. So where we left off was going in the book of Esther. We're in chapter 7 when the adversary, the enemy, the wicked Haman, had gotten outed by Esther, the queen, who was married to a heathen king, doing a glorious act for her people. The sacrifice that she had endured to get this job done under the guidance of Mordecai, the Jew, as they call him, was nothing less than extraordinary. You can't help but to give the sister her credit for taking a stand against a powerhouse at this time. So where we left off in verse 7, after Esther had read, if somebody could get Esther chapter 7, verse 7. So this is King Ahasuerus, who had married Queen Esther when she became the queen. And again, in the culture, we don't use terms like that, given the etymology of that specific word, queen. If you date that far back enough, you're going to see the roots of it talking about an impudent woman, even prostitutes. And we were given an order to not have any, not to have any prostitutes of the daughters of Israel. So that's not within our culture, but just given the language that this was written in at the time, that was the closest equivalent that they would come up with. So there's nothing wrong with just using the term in its context. But for all those people that all those woke brothers and sisters that like to throw around the word king, and you got your queen, you're doing her a disservice. Whenever you're ready, let them know where you're at and kick it off.
This is the book of Esther, chapter 7 and verse 7. And the king arising from the banquet of wine in his wrath went into the palace guard.
So this is right after Esther had, actually, let's skip up. Let's go back to verse 5 real quick, just so we can recap.
Final calm. Book of Esther, chapter 7 and verse 5.
So like you go to 4.
Verse 4. For we are sold, I and my people, to be destroyed, to be slain, and to perish. But if we had been sold for bondmen and bondwomen, I had held my tongue.
So she's seeing her people being faced with oppression by a man named Haman, who's persecuting them, who's murdering them in the streets. And the king is asking her what her issue is, because she's having a problem with this. The king's asking her, what her problem is and what he can do to help make it better. So now at this banquet, she unloads this burden to him, and she's about to drop a name on who this person was who's causing her all this pain. And if you know anything about the femininity of a woman, listen, a good woman, they can have you do some crazy shit. They talk to you sweet, they smelling good, they're warm, and they come at you with them batting eyes, that soft voice, and they tell you that somebody's hurting them. Somebody's hurting their people. Somebody's making them sad. Listen, you will crush armies. You will traverse deserts. You will brave oceans. You will climb mountains to make that stop. So now she's letting them know that her people are being destroyed. They're being slain. If they were just being persecuted with bondage, with just I guess your run-of-the-mill slavery, she probably wouldn't have said nothing. Because how they say it there, I had held my tongue. If it was just about them being enslaved, having to work, that wouldn't have been her main issue. But she's watching the people being slain and destroyed. That's what she's got the problem with. Continue.
Although the enemy could not countervail the king's damage.
Keep going.
Verse 5. Then the king Ahasuerus answered and said unto Esther the queen, who is he? And where is he? That does presume in his heart to do so.
So now again, in the Old English, it sounds fanciful. It sounds almost poetic the way that they're saying it. The king, again, what I was just saying about the ability of a woman to spark a fire in a man. So now he wants to know who's doing this damage to my baby. Who's making you sad? Who's hurting you? Who's got you upset? You don't want to see your woman upset. You don't want to see her upset. This beautiful young thing. So now he wants to make her smile. He wants to help dry them eyes. Keep going.
Verse 6. And Esther said, the adversary and enemy is the wicked Haman.
So now she laid that on thick too. The adversary, the enemy, is this wicked Haman. She's throwing adjectives. She's dispelling his character. And this wicked Haman, now again, this is in the sight of the people. This is a public outing of rooting up this evil in front of the people, in front of the king, in front of him too, to put him on the spot right there in center. Keep going.
Then Haman was afraid before the king and the queen.
So now, because he knows he's guilty too, but he also knows he knows the same thing that we just got them talking about, how that influence from a woman can sway a man's judgment. That can cause him to take extreme measures in these kind of cases too. So now he's worried about his safety. His future is now no longer certain. Keep going.
Verse 7. And the king arising from the banquet of wine in his wrath went into the palace guard.
So now he stormed out. Now that's kind of a telltale sign right there too about what kind of mood this just struck, and what's what could possibly be racing through his head. Right? Keep going.
And Haman stood up to make requests for his life to after the queen.
Listen, he's about to beg her, like, please don't do this. Don't do this to me right now. Like, can't we settle this another way? Now they want to work it out. Like these bastards, they get so smug. We're in the comfortable position. That's why you see the ego on people like Trump and Musk, and even Biden with his Alzheimer's damn ass. They won the war, right? And we've been holding them up with this cushion for so long that they got used to for so long. It's been comfortable. It's been profitable for them. They got to have big families, big lands, big houses, big bank accounts. The kingdom that they had established after all these hundreds of years of our servitude to them. They built an empire off of this. Things are looking good for them, right? They're comfortable. So of course they want to talk all this peace because they don't want that. They don't want to be discomforted now. They don't want to be uncomfortable after so long of being comfortable and being happy with the outcome of their actions. So now we're seeing this Haman, and we're gonna trace it back too. After we just finished catching up from where we were yesterday, well, we're gonna go back and we're gonna see the type of ego that we were dealing with Haman, and you can see how that mirrors the same oppressive spirit of these devils today. You keep going.
For he saw that there was evil determined against him by the king.
How's that one meme go? At this moment, he knew he saw the king get up the way that he did, storm out to the garden the way that he did, silent, probably hear a pin drop. And again, his safety is no longer assured. And he was in a very prominent position, a very comfortable position that's about to get swept out from underneath them. This has got to be a very awkward, moment for this man, who again had been living in the king's grace. Now he's at the queen's mercy. Now he wants to make a deal with her. It's too late for all that. She planted the seed. She did her job. Her brick is about to get thrown in his face. Keep going.
Verse 8. Then the king returned out of the palace guard into the place of the banquet of wine, and Haman was fallen upon the bed whereon Esther was.
So now he tries to attack her. He knew this was an act of desperation. Right. So he tries to lunge at her. He wants he knows that his life is going to be forfeit. But in that moment, he's probably thinking, all right, maybe if I just snuff her real quick, that's going to kill all the enemies or all the accusations that could be thrown my way, and there's going to be no proof. There's going to be no proof that I ever did such a thing. So let's just give it a shot. Let's just see where this goes. Keep going.
Then said the king, will you force the queen also before me in the house?
Like really? Really, you're like that was your end game? That was your goal? You're gonna give that a shot right now, right in front of me, right in my house. The insult to injury is epic here. Keep going.
As the word went out of the king's mouth, they covered Haman's face.
While he's talking, he's getting snatched up. While the king is checking him, he's getting snatched up immediately. Keep going. And again, just to point out the sacrifice of this sister, putting herself in that kind of danger to put an end to the root of her people suffering in this captivity. Right. It's already the fact that they were in captivity. That's a whole nother horse in itself. It's one thing that America had come over here, dominated the land, put us on reservations, put us in ghettos. They didn't have to give us crack cocaine. They didn't have to prostitute our women. Right. They didn't have to sterilize our sisters in jails. Right. They didn't have to turn us into criminals and villains. They set us up to be that way too. They didn't have to do. They won the war. They conquered the land. They pushed us off into the reservations. They kicked us out of Texas and California, New Mexico, Arizona, what used to be Mexico. They won. We didn't need 1,000 Oaks to kick it off too. We didn't need the Trail of Tears. That's all unnecessary. They didn't have to use our babies as alligator bait. In Waukesha, that's maybe what, 10 minutes outside of Milwaukee, Waukesha, in the 40s. If you look this up, you'll see a flyer that was published by the YMCA. If you thought that this was like a good-natured institution, the YMCA. Right. In the 40s, Waukesha, 1940s, not the 1740s, not the 1640s, not like it was so long ago. In the 1940s, in Waukesha, the YMCA had flyers for I can't remember the name of the campgrounds that they used to hold these fairs at. But at the county fairs in Waukesha, they used to have a game there called Hit the Nigga Baby. You didn't have to do that for entertainment. You could have just put the white and the red rings on there with the center and the bullseye and just let it be that. Those extra measures that they got to use at their discretion for their pleasure is why the patience of the saints is so pure when the shoe is on the other foot. And we'll have the authority to double their reward. Now, there's a lot of bleeding hearts out there that are gonna, well, you know, we can be better than that. Let's take the high road. That is the high road. These people need to get kicked out of that seat of authority with such enthusiasm that's gonna crush their spirit forever. Because the prophecy is, and as the scriptures say, that they can never build another city again. Rapa?
That's right. Need to be eradicated for the face of the earth, because I see them and I see nothing but humane and hunger and strife and all types of downgrade. I see them as just the bottom of the earth.
They're very uncivilized people in their hearts. And again, they're living in a space where they get to call the shots. They get to make the rules. So, I mean, if you're a bum in your own kingdom, that's your fault. Now, there shouldn't be anybody homeless. There shouldn't be anybody living in an alleyway. There shouldn't be anybody strung out on crack. Nobody should be smoking crystal meth. Nobody. But when the wicked rule, the people mourn. When the righteous are in authority, the people will rejoice. They need to be removed from power. That is an absolute necessity if this planet is going to survive. If the people on this planet are going to survive. Under their rulership, it's just going to decay. It's just going to get worse. And as they advance more in technology, they come up with even crazier ways to, how would I say it? They become more inventive in their destruction. Just like in the same hand, their advancements in the medical field. You know, how they were able to, you know, track diseases, treat diseases, the symptoms, find the cures for it, you know, suppose all that. But they also mapped out different poisons. They also mapped out the different how many currents of electricity does it take to kill a man. You know what I'm saying? So that advancement in technology doesn't always mean it's going to be a net plus for society, because they're going to use that same knowledge to find out ways about how to hurt people, how to enslave people, how to control people, how to manipulate people and the system. So as many jobs as they're going to create with, you know, the advancements in technology, you're going to see a different slew of homelessness and poverty. It's just going to be a more technically yeah, I guess that would be the word, a more technically advanced poverty. Like you got homeless people now with smartphones and tablets and all that out there on the streets. They're gonna have VR sets. They're gonna be technically advanced bums with technically advanced drugs that they're gonna be hooked up on. So it's necessary that they get destroyed by lawful means, though. But in no way should anybody take it upon themselves to go on a vigilante run, on a mission to satisfy your carnal emotions from seeing the same thing that Esther saw. With her cunning under this brother Mordecai, a genius tactician in this story, her cunning, her subtleness, her femininity won Israel a tremendous victory here. And it ruined this man's life, justifiably. So again, he thinks last ditch effort, let's kill this broad and see if we can get away with it. But he gets caught up and he gets hung before the people. I think that was the end of verse 8, I believe.
Yeah, that was the end of verse 8.
Let's finish 9 and 10 real quick.
Book of Esther, chapter 7 and verse 9. When Harbonah, one of the chamberlains, stood before the king, behold, also the gallows 50 cubits high, which Haman had made for Mordecai, who had spoken good for the king, standing in the house of Haman.
And there goes that shoe on the other foot. He had built these gallows 50 cubits high. I want to look that up real quick, how much a cubit was. I think that's supposed to be like from your elbow to your fingertips. Cubits to feet. That's about 1.5 foot. And it said 50 cubits high. So figure what, like maybe 75 feet. That's a hell of a drop. If you stumble down some steps that are 3 feet tall, like that's you break a leg that way. That's gonna suck too. You got a 75-foot drop to think about. All your flaws, everything that you did wrong. Like again, trying to set this man up. And I gotta. It's laughable how irritating we must be to these devils. Everything that they've done for how many years to try to snuff us out, and we just, God damn it, we just keep on coming back stronger and cooler, and you know what I'm saying? It's still raising our family, still raising our brothers and sisters. Like it's got to be so damn aggravating. Haman he's got to be pissed. He's got to be super pissed about this. The same gallows that he had set up to get this brother killed with is the same gallows that they used to drop him from 75 feet. Now let's end that and let's jump back a little bit. There's this part. Let's if you could, Bob, chapter 3, start at verse 1.
That's the chapter 3 and verse 1. After these things did King Ahasuerus promote Haman, the son of Amadatha, the Agagite, and advanced him and set his feet above all the princes that were with him.
So again, he gets put on this pedestal. He gets all this power and authority at his disposal above all the princes that were around him too. So other high-ranking men, he surpasses them. Keep going.
Verse 2. And all the king's servants that were in the king's gate bowed in reverence to Haman, for the king had so commanded concerning him. But Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence.
Like that's got to be aggravating. All these other people are bound. Like the king just ranked them up, set them up over all these people with all this rank and authority. But this Negro, This uppity, he won't do it.
Right.
Something about him. Keep going.
Verse 3. Then the king's servants, which were in the king's gate, said unto Mordecai, why transgressest thou the king's commandment?
Keep going.
Verse 4. Now it came to pass when they spake daily unto him, and hearkened not unto them, that he told Haman to see whether Mordecai his matters would stand. For he had told them that he was a Jew.
Because he was a Jew, man. He was one of those. And it said, now it came to pass when they spake daily unto him that he hearkened not unto him. He didn't say nothing. He didn't say nothing. He just let it stew. Start that little fire and just let it burn. Keep going.
Verse 5. And when Haman saw that Mordecai bowed not, nor did reverence him, then was Haman full of wrath.
Because they need to be respected. They need to be listened to. You gotta follow their orders. You see how irate they get when they make a traffic stop, and even though it's in my opinion, it's like to the minute bummy. Correct me if I'm ever out of line here, but it's so stupid. These sovereign citizens trying to flash this little card like that's actually gonna do something for them. Like they still can't physically get a nightstick to the temple. That little card is supposed to protect them somehow. Protect their rights based off their Moorish identity, something like that. And when they try to play those games with them, you can see the frustration build. And that's just a simple traffic stop. This is a man who's in a rulership position over the kingdom. And this Negro, this Jew, this Israelite, he's not listening. He's not listening to me. I'm over these princes. I'm over all these servants of the kings. I'm over all these people in this kingdom. But this Israelite just won't listen to me. He won't do it. He won't do what I'm telling him to do. And that makes him so mad that he has an ought against the people. He can't just take it right out on Mordecai. Not yet. So now we're going to see the build up to why this story became so significant. Because it wasn't just about Esther and Mordecai. They're some of the star players in this epic. But what this whole thing was over, big picture quality wise, what this whole thing was over is definitely something to be commended, and it's understandable why it's an ordinance to recount this memorial every year with all of our generations, to teach it to our kids and to have them pass it on because of the integrity of these two. This was this man and his niece. So Mordecai the Jew and who became Queen Esther is just living rent-free in Haman's head here. Keep going.
Verse 6. And he thought scorn to lay hands on Mordecai alone, for they had showed him the people of Mordecai, wherefore Haman thought to destroy all the Jews.
So now there we go. So now he wanted to just put hands on Mordecai. But in his anger, that's not enough. Again, his scornfulness, it's got to be something big. It's got to be. It's not enough to just beat the person that's got you pissed off and out of your feelings. Now he wants to take it a step further and persecute his people. Again, they're already in subjection to this king. It's not enough though. Because of this one brother who's just not listening to him, not respecting his authority, seeing him for the dog that he is, wants to take it a step further and to make these people suffer even more, just because he can't win this small little battle. So now he wants to cause a massacre. He wants a slaughter. Keep going.
Wherefore Haman thought to destroy all the Jews that were throughout the whole kingdom of Ahasuerus, even the people of Mordecai. Verse 7. In the first month, that is the month of Nisan, In the 12th year of King Ahasuerus, they cast Pur, that is the lot, before Haman, from day to day, and from month to month, to the 12th month, that is the month Adar.
So now again, we're getting to the point of how this was named. What this is named in the spirit of. So they were sitting there casting lots before Haman. Every day, every month. It seems like what would have been going on to the 12th month, yeah, for about a year. Keep going.
Verse 8. Haman said unto King Ahasuerus, there was a certain people scattered abroad and dispersed among the people in all the provinces of thy kingdom, that their laws are diverse from all people. Neither keep they the king's laws. Therefore, it is not for the king's profit to suffer them.
Now he's trying to build a case against these people as to why they should get further persecuted. Again, casting lots, trying to come to a decision on how to deal with this. All because Mordecai would not submit to this man's authority publicly for everybody to see. It's not enough that he's ranked up. He needs everybody to acknowledge it as well. So now he's sitting there stewing in his feelings, getting ready to take it out on everybody else, casting doubts, rolling the dice. Should I poison them? Should I put all the children in the mine? Should I kill all their animals? Just casting lots, weighing out what's going to happen next. So now he's building the case to the king on what's going to sound good, on what he thinks is going to sound good enough to the king to persecute these people even more. Keep going.
Verse 9. If it please the king. If it please the king.
If it please the king. So again, he thinks that he's concocted a good enough reason, rehearsed it a couple times, and now he's presenting his case to the king. If it please the king, keep going.
Let it be written that they may be destroyed.
That they may maybe mandatory overtime.
Destroyed.
A little more taxes.
Destroyed.
Ground them. Should we just ground them for the day?
Destroy.
Put them on timeout.
Destroy.
He wants to destroy these people. The people that again had nothing to do with his personal art against Mordecai. Completely unrelated. But he couldn't just outright touch Mordecai. But he sees these people that are under their subjection. So again, they're not as protected. They don't have the same luxury or authority to appeal to when an injustice happens to him that he does, because he is the authority that the people would appeal to. Don't that sound kind of familiar? We're starting to see the parallels in these different captivities, which is, one of the reasons why so many of our cases go unsolved, or they don't even get answered at all. We don't have an authority, a righteous authority that we can appeal to when we have a problem amongst each other. That's why we're allowed to kill each other at what was Chicago last year? 200-300? Yeah. 500-600? And that's just one city. That's one city. Rapaz, look up Milwaukee. What was Milwaukee's murder rate last year? Homicide rates? At least 100.
It was a lot more than 200,000.
No, not 200,000 from last year.
280,000.
I'll go with that number too. 200 million murders last year in Milwaukee. That's a lot. That's a lot. I think we can all agree in the city that we love and the people that we love that one's enough. For the reasons that it happens over in this city, I think one's enough. So, you got it?
There have been 18 homicides in 2025.
Already this year.
That ain't even last year. But it's 5 fewer than last year at this date.
So I mean that's progress. Last year at the same time it would have been 23.
So you said it was 18? 25.
Said 18 in 25.
18 homicides in 2025.
Yeah.
5 fewer than last year at this date. What's the total number of murders for last year?
And it's always something unreasonable. It's always something that could have been talked out. You know, and this is why Commanding General Yohana is so stringent on Slaki. 183. What's Chicago doing? Good night. So just under 200 in Milwaukee last year, just under 600 in Chicago last year. That's 2 cities, 800 people, roughly. That's 2 cities. St. Louis, LA, New York, just to name 3 more prominent cities. You can guess what those numbers would have added to also. Rapa, look up how many murders occurred in Wauwatosa last year. Wauwatosa is a nice, comfortable neighborhood sitting right outside Milwaukee. Right down this street on North Avenue. If you were to go another maybe 30 blocks, yeah, about another mile and a half, another 30 blocks, you're going to get into Wauwatosa. A nice area, very comfortable, schools, nice and clean. You ain't got all these, gun-toting rugrats. You ain't got no Kia boys out there. It's nice and peaceable. It's civilized. It's civilized. It's white people civilized, I guess. Good.
64.
In Wauwatosa, homicides. I'm gonna have to look. I'm not calling you a lie. I gotta see. I'm gonna look that up later. But it doesn't happen there. It doesn't happen in St. Francis. It doesn't happen in Cudahy. It doesn't happen in Franklin or Greenfield or Greendale or Port Washington or Shorewood up on a little bit farther up on the north side. It doesn't happen like that there. Because again, we are allowed, because their justice system there for their people would have been swift. It would have been investigated. Crimes would have been solved. Families would have received justice. But because that's their people too, and they don't want to see their people going through that. They don't mind it if we end up having to go through it amongst each other, because it's not outright spilling into their neighborhoods and affecting their demographic. Malquad's in the building. Clap it up for Malquad II. Making his presence known. Salam. We don't have a righteous authority to appeal to when something happens in our neighborhoods. We have to appeal to our oppressors for justice, for some kind of, to bring some kind of peace, to bring some kind of closure. Sakia Ash?
Yes, sir. So it's definitely what you bring out too, because something like my people said earlier, white people get this, this power and authority, and right now they know that it's smart people.
Right.
But in actuality, like the scripture bringing out, the minute he gets controversy, first thing he want to do is just kill it. That's unintelligent.
Right. That I like the way you put that too. The second he got a little uncomfortable, he wants to kill everybody. He don't want to. He's not going to spread a rumor around on Facebook. He wants to kill people. He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to key their car. He wants to kill everybody off because he's mad, because he's in emotion. He had a good cry, did some drugs, and now he wants to kill everybody. Now he's feeling calm and puffed up. He's gonna say something?
You brought up Wauwatosa earlier. I just looked it up. If I didn't,
Please.
It says specific data on the total number of homicides in Wauwatosa, Wisconsin for 2024 is not readily available in the provided source. However, historical data indicates that Wauwatosa has had relatively low homicide rates. For instance, in 2021, there were no reported murders in the city.
That's what I'm saying. That's right down the street. We're living on a very kind of a blurred little border here. It's like that right over here. It's like that right on the east side too, in River West, where you can walk down the street 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and maybe depending on who's out, it's actually probably depending on who's drunk and passed out or who's in jail already, that you could walk down the street 2-3 o'clock in the morning after the bar and everything's cool, no problems. Or you could get your face shot off real quick on the same street in Milwaukee, right there on the east side. If you're on the north side of Locust, you might be okay. You're on the south side of Locust, that could be it. Like it's that fragile of a border right there. Just depending on who's where, because you got the college neighborhood just blocks away from it. Right across, because they call it River West because it's kind of divided right there. That's kind of a border where, you cross that bridge, you're in the hood. You go on the other side of the bridge, you're back into the nice neighborhood. It's right on the lakefront. You got UWM right down the street. You got those cute little boutique shops and shit. But again, you cross, you're back on the other side of the street. You've got all the trash and all the needles, and you got all the gangbangers and poverty and drug addicts. You got the dope houses. Like the east side is rough, man. The east side ain't no joke. And it's like that right down the street here. You go about, like Cap said, about a mile down the road, you're in Wauwatosa. Last year, they had no murders reported. Nothing. Not even by a cop. Not even by a cop. But you stay a little bit over here, you got Kia Boys. You got the reckless driving in this city it's ridiculous. I don't know what Chicago's been doing, but these guys maybe I'm just getting old, man. I'm looking at these young kids. Slow down. Use your blinkers. It's just not working. No matter. All right, I shake my fist, guys.
So everything's bringing out on the way here. Really coming through. You know what I'm saying? First thing I see some big old mansions and shit.
Yeah. Yes.
It's
a little bit farther.
As soon as you hit a block,
yep.
You like.
Yeah.
This was like Chicago in this.
Yep.
It turned so quick. Like it went from mansions to the hood, and like in a split second, you see like walking dogs down the street to crackheads.
Yep.
Like
quick.
Quick.
And it does not spill over really into that environment, into their environment. It's so crazy how what was that study that they had done with an elephant? They had an elephant in an enclosure who was walking in circles for so long because they couldn't walk anywhere else. So all it knew how to do was walk in that circle. They took that same elephant outside of the enclosure, and it was still walking in that same circle, in that same pattern, that same little circumference, without the walls, without the borders anymore. But it stayed right there. That's how they have us here now. We don't have a righteous moral authority that we can appeal to that would give us any kind of justice here. Mordecai and Esther wanted that for their people. They wanted them to be free from the threat of bastards like this. Because when they get emotional, they become very unstable and they become very menacing. They are a threat to. They are the reason why schools are getting shot up. Why they have to use certain protocols now in these schools because of the instability of their people, of their kids even. Guy, if you don't give these kids now their electronic devices. Actually, not that long ago, there was a story that somebody was telling me at work. There's actually a brother too, a young brother, 10 years old, because his mom, and I can't remember all the details to the article, but his mother wouldn't get him a VR set. He disables the cameras in their home, gets her gun, and unalives her. 10 years old. 10 years old. They want to try him as an adult. They're arguing that he gets they put him in a juvenile facility just because of all the resources that the juvenile facilities have. Once you're an adult, they kind of don't give you those kind of outlets anymore. But they still want to, try to give the kid some kind of hope. And they're showing him in the courtroom. He's sitting there reading the comic book while he's sitting there at the arraignment. I think it was even during the trial. He's sitting there reading the comic book. Like these kids. There's a lot more to it than just God, I don't want to have a whole psych class on this right now. It's like you good.
No, it's like I was gonna say what that story you was talking about. That kid was tried. He was tried as an adult at the age of 12 years old.
There you go.
So just go show you how, regardless of your age, like I said, they have no respect of person. Young to old. They charged him as a full adult as if there wasn't people who was overseeing him and training him up as a child. They looked at him as a grown man making a mistake.
Didn't they treat Emmett Till something like that too? Wasn't that boy 14? And they hung him like a grown man? It's crazy. But again, their children get psychiatric care. Right. They get the counseling, they get the mentors, they get to express themselves and talk about it, color their feelings out. We will go to jail if not worse. And we will be left at the whims of people of wicked men like Haman, who would seek to destroy us, all because his feelings got hurt.
That's right.
That's these people in a nutshell. Esau was like that too. Esau's feelings got hurt too, and he didn't. He ended up unaliving his brother over the same thing, just because he wasn't acknowledged, and he didn't get the respect that he felt that he deserved. So he went down the same road. That's that same spirit. You got some people though that see that light at the end of the tunnel and aren't going to give up until hella high water, man. It's brotherhood and sisterhood that's going to get us out of this mess. And Mordecai and Esther had it in spades. Right. And they devised one heck of a plan, and they executed it masterfully. And they are absolutely to be acknowledged for their actions here. And we will definitely continue this every year, right. Year in, year out. So now Mordecai, Haman he's feeling sensitive, and he wants to destroy something. We are in verse 9, I believe.
Verse 9, yeah.
Good. He wants to destroy something, man. It's not enough to just yell and maybe hit a punching bag, taking a aerobics class or something like that. Like to let out his frustration, he needs to destroy a whole people.
Well, Esther chapter 3, verse 9. If it please the king, let it be written that they may be destroyed. And I will pay 10,000 talents of silver to the hands of those that have the charge of the business to bring it into the king's treasury.
Listen, he's gonna make a sweet deal. He's gonna give them a sweet what's this? Not a severance pay, a pay increase for the work that they're already doing out there, keeping these Israelites in line, put them to work, the taskmasters and whatnot, overseers. He's gonna sweeten the pot a little bit more. 10,000 talents of silver to the hands of those that have charge of the business to bring it to the king's treasures. Again, that kind of mirrors the empire that was built in America off of that. That's subsequently a direct result of the slave trade, the justice system, all the prisons that were built, the police force that was established. It's a whole thing. It's a whole complex, big system. They're paying people to oppress you. They're paying people to racially profile you, to stop and frisk you, to plant drugs on you, to throw you in a prison that they built, just for their guards to pretty much do the same thing. They're paying these guards to treat you like scum, treat you like an animal, degrade you as a human being, just for you to go to court on an appeal, just for the judge to throw the book at you, at a 12-year-old. At a 12-year-old. Now, what that boy did was wrong, but if you were to give him, say, into the hands of General Mahine, who is, I mean, if you want to talk about a counselor, you know, that's somebody that's somebody that you should be paying to govern matters like this. And you're gonna see why in a little bit. I mean, you can already see it in the existing schools of the UPK. Brothers that came from nothing, that came from horrible circumstances, and actually turned their lives around, dedicated themselves to a cause greater than them after finding out the root of their issue, what the problem is, how to solve it. And being set down a completely different trajectory than statistically we should have been. Stereotypically, the men in this room, a lot of us, and then I'm just speaking, I guess, colloquially, we should not be here. Should be in jail, should be in the casket, should be running wild. But we saw something that convicted our spirit to strive for something better. Right. Milwaukee deserves better. Chicago deserves better than what these devils have done. And you're not going to get it from them. You're not going to get it from the system that's been set up in place to push you down. So now the same thing that Mordecai is doing, he's about to pay an extra 10,000 talents of silver to the hands of those that have the charge of the business to bring it to the king's treasuries. He's going to pay extra for extra harsh treatment. Keep going. Where are we? Verse 10.
Book of Acts, chapter 3 and verse 10. And the king took his ring from his hand and gave it unto Haman, the son of Ammedatha, the Agite, the Jews' enemy.
Well, it sounded good because, again, in verse 8, he's letting them know that there's a certain people dispersed among your people in all the provinces of your kingdom. Their laws are different. They don't keep your laws. They do their own thing, and you don't get the benefit off it. When they pay their tithes to, if they were doing that back then in this case, I can imagine that they would, because we're seeing it done now. We do that now. We are in captivity, but when we pay our tithes, that goes to what would help feed and clothe the nation and fund events for the people. So I can only imagine how much more frustrating that must be for the IRS that they can't get their hands on our tithes money. I mean, it's just a little bit that we have to offer here and there, but they're not satisfied with what they have now in the coffers. You know they want that tithe money too. You know they want Caps Camp money every week. They want that every week from us. You know what I'm saying? But these are even the tiny steps that are necessary to be taken to sustain a nation of people, especially in captivity. And that's again what sets us apart from every other organization and book club that you see out there, because we are bent on fixing the nation of Israel, of rebuilding the nation of Israel. Right. Everybody else just wants to perfect John 3:16. Right. And you know, look prestigious in public when they're doing a camp speaking. And then we just, goddamn, you always see how it turns out. I've yet to see one of these organizations that does not have a filthy stain on them. Right. It's because again, they're here for that filthy lucre. They're here for their own image. They're not here for to rebuild the infrastructure of a nation of people. They're not doing that. They're having stupid disputes with each other, breaking up with each other, which just sounds weird. They break up with each other. It's a weird concept. Right. Just to start their own, just to go out with somebody else. They break up with each other just to go out with somebody else. It's crazy. We do not. It's no cowards and no excuses here. We don't let the issues that break these people up. We'll take that to the table. If we got a disagreement with something, we'll have a count. We'll talk it out. I will fight the ISUPK tooth and nail to make sure that we are right before I ever leave. Because we are focused on rebuilding the nation of Israel. And I believe in that. It's a worthy cause. It's a worthy cause. It's bigger than color coordinating. It's practical. It's universal and practical knowledge. It's something that you can actually apply to real world situations, which again goes back to the counseling that Mordecai would be giving to Esther in this matter of how to navigate captivity for, again, this big picture of preserving their people that are under captivity so that they're not being destroyed. They're not being subjected to another man's cruelty. Right. You have no obligation to respect Donald Trump or Elon Musk. Now, as the scriptures say too, if it be possible, be at peace with all men. Don't be a knucklehead. But we have no obligation to kowtow to these people. Render unto Caesar what belongs to Caesar. We'll pay our taxes. Because we don't need no guff. We don't need no unnecessary trouble. It's already bad enough out here, right? And it's not that big of a deal at the end of the day, too. It's maybe I'm just not bothered by it the same way some other people are that are going to risk tax fraud. And what was that? What was that scam that was going on that everybody was jumping on? The PPP? Yeah, the PPP loan that everybody they're dreading that now. Again, it sounded great on Facebook. Facebook advertised the hell out of it. I almost did it too. But again, the counseling from brothers that knew better than me, saved my heartache for that letdown. Mordecai and Esther were focused on preserving their culture while in captivity, making sure that their people can still follow their laws. What would it say in verse 8? Yeah, to keep the laws that define their culture. Haman used that same logic, that same principle to influence the king to write this decree to get them to help destroy them, to help him destroy these people because of their culture, because they're keeping their culture, they're not following yours. We went through this a couple different times. When we go back, if anybody had been paying attention to Hanukkah, the Feast of Dedication, it was kind of a similar effect there where we were in captivity, but we refused. Some of us did, not everybody, but some good men, some stubborn brothers refused to honor and live in accordance to their oppressor's culture. They had the integrity to keep their own and to push for it too. Mordecai and Esther, they pushed back in a different way. It didn't cause, it wasn't in the same capacity as the Maccabees where they went to an all-out war. They had to do this very, very tactfully, very strategically, very, very smart. And they did it with such finesse that we've got the Feast of Pruim to look forward to every year. All right, Saki, keep going.
Verse 11. And the king said unto Haman, The silver is given to thee, the people also, to do with them as it seemeth good to thee.
As it seemeth good to thee. It seemed good to those people to hang a young man, Emmett Till, because of that dog's lie. And she came out later on and said it right before she died or something like that. She came out and said that she had lied about it. Got that brother killed. It seemed good unto them to hang a 14-year-old boy, to try him as an adult and hang him in the gallows because he had supposedly whistled at a white woman. Again, maybe I'm old-fashioned. That seems a little extreme to go to those lengths right away. But that seemed good unto them. That seemed good. That seemed like the right move to make for these people. That's their measure of justice when it comes to people that they're oppressing. Now, again, Haman was offering up 10,000 talents to the hands of those that have charge of the business to push that agenda a little bit further for those interested parties, to where those same interested parties that would also think that this seemed good. So now, again, this king, after his petition to get this letter written, gets it written, gets it signed, gives him the authority to pass it, and gives him the authority to do what he thinks is good in his eyes on how to deal with these people. Keep going.
Verse 12. Then when the king's scribe called on the 13th day of the first month, and that was written according to all that Haman had commanded unto the king's lieutenants and to the governors that were in every province, and to the rulers of every people of every province, according to the writing thereof, and to every people after their language, and the name of King Ahasuerus was it written and sealed with the king's ring. Verse 13. And the letters were sent by post into all the king's provinces to destroy, to kill, and
to destroy and to kill, and to cause to perish all the Jews. Didn't they give them stop and frisk?
Destroy and kill.
On sight. It wasn't if you see him jaywalking, but again, in this kingdom, they were allowed to go to those extreme measures for brothers that were jaywalking. Just like they made all these laws so delicate and so fragile that you almost had no choice but to even accidentally break them. You're gonna jaywalk. To me, it just seems like a natural thing. You're gonna cut that little corner. You're not gonna wait for the light all the time to switch over. You're not gonna wait for the crossing guard. We shouldn't have to. But again, they put these laws in place that were so dainty that, I mean, it was you're just gonna break them. And they used little stupid things like that to criminalize us as a people, which turned into a stereotype of us as a people. And they were allowed to treat us with very harsh and cruel punishments for something as simple as jaywalking. They had laughing barrels at one point in time. You could have walked down the street with a smile on your face if you were so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian in a white city. You had to stick your head in a barrel and just to laugh at a joke. And if you didn't, you could get lynched for that. They still got sundown towns in America in 2025, don't they? They don't need any excuse to put their hands on you there. If you are in the streets after sundown, if you are in their purview at all after sundown, they got you. Haman had the king authorize this kind of cruelty to the Israelites, to the Jews, to destroy, to kill, and to perish, to cause to perish all the Jews. Keep going.
Both young and old, little children and women, in one day, even upon the 13th day of the 12th month, which is the month of Adar, and to take the spoils of them for prey.
It's like it said in one day.
They say in one day.
In one day.
So I mean, they got this done quick. They didn't have to send this up through the Senate. They didn't have to battle this out with the legislative, judicial, and the executive branches to get this bill passed. He put that bug in his ear. He got it authorized. They dispersed it to all the provinces, to all the lieutenants, to all the leaders of all these different communities where we were living again. Not to give them a talking to, not to put them in the mines, not to put them to work, not to ask them questions. It was straight to the point of destroy, kill, to perish, and to rob them, and to take the spoil of them for a prey. They had free reign to do whatever they wanted. All because one brother refused to acknowledge this man's authority. Now you might look at it like, I mean, couldn't he just bowed? Couldn't he just bowed, save everybody the headache of this kind of treatment, this reaction? We know how sensitive they are. Could they have just played along, go along just to get along? He couldn't. The integrity of this man, how would I say, to push it this far, to draw this out of Haman, was necessary to end the mistreatment of the Israelites here. Keep going.
Verse 14. The copy of the rights for a commandment to be given in every province was published unto all people, that they should be ready against that day. Verse 15. The post went out being hastened by the king's commandment, and the decree was given in Shushan the palace. And the king and Haman sat down to drink, but the city Shushan was perplexed.
Like this is going to cause a bit of an uproar. It's going to, imagine if they did that, just blatantly did that today. Donald Trump is getting ready for martial law. He's where was it? Where was it? Missouri, where he had deputized. He had deputized like the citizens so that they can help round up all the illegal Mexicans. Like, we're getting ready for a major push here in this country where they're just going to take off that mask. They're not going to be as concerned with they're not going to be as concerned with their public image, how they're perceived in the media. If the liberals aren't going to vote for them next term, like they're gearing up and getting ready for this to be the last term. They're looking to destroy, they're looking to kill, they're looking to cause to perish all the Jews once again. And it would almost seem that they're looking to kick off a war with the cartels in Mexico. Because I think they had successfully, I don't know if it was a bill that they actually had to pass, but they had, I believe, successfully gotten the cartels labeled as terrorist organizations. So that's just going to add more fuel to the fire of, all these patriots that are so happy this white face is shining the way it is, so that they can wear their MAGA hats proud again and openly. Like they're tired of hiding how they really feel about us. They're ready to demonstrate it openly. That's why in Ohio you had. I don't know what these guys were thinking, but they had the gumption to put on their black and red garbs with their swastikas and go for a little march. As if that, I don't know if anybody saw the news on that, but that didn't turn out as successful as I think they were hoping when they had first put on the masks. But they're getting ready to. They're ready and waiting for them to be able to just do this publicly, express themselves publicly, without having to worry if they're going to be scrutinized, if they're going to lose points in the polls, if they're going to get shunned by the other communities. They are ready for an all-out war, a public war. And this is what America has been. It's been leading towards this for, I mean, God, how long now? Since, all right, so 1776, 250 years, something like that. They're getting tired. They're getting restless. They're ready to kick this off. So, of course, you got to put somebody like Trump. Well, Biden, I mean, he was falling asleep standing up. He wasn't going to do it. Hillary wasn't going to do it. Kamala Harris wasn't going to do it. You needed Trump for something like this to showcase how they really feel. And again, all of this has been prophesied in the Bible with the son of perdition, exposing who that is. They are getting ready to take off that mask and show their true colors.
That's right.
And personally, I mean, I'd rather have an openly racist, devil in my face versus trying to friend me on Facebook. Right. It just let's just speed this up a little bit more, because after this war that's coming about, that's going to be kicked off with some more white on white violence that they never talk about. That's going to be the end of it. With the efforts that Haman was putting in to destroy the Jews, Mordecai and Esther, their plan, they knew that was going to be the end of that cruelty towards their people then. So again, kind of on a smaller scale, but they knew that too. They knew that this was going to be the turning of the tide. Skip down to select. Give me 1 second. Yeah, you can read chapter 4, verse 1. Start there.
Book of Esther, chapter 4, verse 1. When Mordecai perceived all that was done, Mordecai rent his clothes and put on sackcloth with ashes. He went out into the midst of the city and cried with a loud and a bitter cry.
So word hit his ears that, again, this law got passed, and people they were acting on it. Keep going.
Verse 2. And came even before the king's gate, for none might enter the king's gate clothed with sackcloth. Verse 3. And in every province, whithersoever the king's commandment, his decree came, there was great mourning amongst the Jews, and fasting, and weeping, and wailing, and many lay in sackcloth and ashes.
And now we're talking, in this case too, we're looking at, as Haman was describing it before, people were scattered on all these different provinces. So it's not like Israel was a galvanized nation. We were just we were just a populace in captivity in this man's kingdom, scattered abroad, no established leadership, because again, we didn't have any authority for we didn't have a military then. We didn't have a judicial system then. We didn't have checks and balances, so to speak. Again, we would have had to appeal to our oppressor for any kind of justice or any kind of any civic matters, any criminal matters. Everything would have been handled by them. So now the people are dispersed. We don't have any kind of leadership. There's no body. There's no cohesive body. There's just Israelites scattered abroad, and nobody to pull them together in that sense. This is going to be an action that ended up galvanizing the people later on, because we're going to read how might just have to skip to that. We're going to read about how Esther and Mordecai had, let me see, how they end up reaching out to the people to help gather them. All right, but so again, this action is going to be used to galvanize the people, but it takes Mordecai and Esther to step into a leadership role, is essentially what I'm trying to get at here, because nobody else was taking that position. And after this law got passed, and it said how the city was perplexed, the confusion and chaos that something like this would have caused, the people mourning, not being disciplined, not being tethered, not having a military, not having a leadership. It's going to have the people the same way that you would see a city now if something like this would have happened, how they would riot, how they would disperse, how they might click up in their little gangs and little factions and things like that. But it's going to be dog eat dog. It's going to be panic. It's going to be confusion. It's not going to be people using I don't want to say their wits or intelligence, but it's going to cause that fire to spread a little bit farther, because they're not bound together. They're just civilians. They're just Israelites in captivity. They're not a nation in captivity. They're just they're just Milwaukee. They're just Chicago. Keep going.
Verse 4. So Esther's maids and her chamberlains came and told it her. Then was the queen exceedingly grieved. And she sent raiment to clothe not Mordecai, and to take away the sackcloth from him, but he received it not. Verse 5.
Skip down to verse 8.
Verse 8. Also he gave the copy of the writing of the decree that was given at Pruim to destroy them, to show it unto Esther, and to declare it unto her, and to charge her that she should go in unto the king to make supplications unto him, and to make requests before him for her people.
So now again, big picture here. Mordecai, after he gets done telling them all this, all the little background information about them adding more money, essentially not just a bounty, I wouldn't say, but adding more money for the oppressors to go out and to kill, to loot, because it said to spoil them for a prey, to go out and kill them, to destroy them. They're getting paid to do this. So now Mordecai is bidding his niece to take this information to the king, and again with a woman's touch, using her femininity and his desire as a man too, to bend him to their will, so that they can get Haman taken off their neck and save their people from the further destruction, just because this man's ego got hurt here. Keep going.
Verse 9. Isupk came and told Esther the words of Mordecai. Verse 10. Again, Esther spoke unto Isupk and gave him commandment unto Mordecai. Verse 11. All the king's servants and the people of the king's provinces do know that whosoever, whether man or woman, shall come unto the king into the inner court, who is not called, there is one law of his to put him to death, except such to whom the king shall hold out the golden scepter, that he may live. But I have not been called to come into the king these 30 days. Verse 12, when they told to Mordecai Esther's word. Verse 13, then Mordecai commanded to Esther, think not with thyself that thou shalt escape in the king's house.
So now again, that's the counsel that Mordecai has given Esther, to not just think about herself here. Keep going.
More than all the Jews.
More than all the Jews. That's one issue that that we face here a lot in this era is a lot of people are just focused on themselves, their own well-being, their own reputation, their own gain, and what they're going to prosper from with the truth, so to speak, or their version, their understanding of it. We are under attack as a people. We are under fire in real time right now. We're not just talking about some shit that may happen, that's hypothetical. It is going on today. It might not be affecting, individuals so much. And that's, and that's shame on you for thinking as an individual. If we were to take these matters as a nation of people, we would see the damage that it's going to do to us as a nation of people. The Isukarites, the persecution that they're going through, we should have listened to Commanding General Hodges some years ago, even though maybe it wouldn't have gotten honored the same way that the intention would have been, as far as getting married for the green card. That's right. We're gonna get through this together. It's gonna suck for a little while, but that's why we have these institutions built, the Isupk, in all these different cities in South and Central America, in Canada, in the UK, for these express purposes, so that when it hits the fan, you'll know where to go. Mordecai and Esther, they're raising the banner. They're galvanizing the people. They're letting the people know what direction that they're gonna need to head in when it gets bad. It's getting bad now. It's been bad for a while. It's not going to get any better as long as these people are in power. So in the spirit of Mordecai and Esther, we are putting that word out. And actually that's the verse that I should have you finish off on too. Skip to verse 8. Where Salaki. We're in chapter 4, 16. My fault. And this will be the last one.
Verse 16. Go gather together all the Jews that are present at Shushan and fasting for me, and neither eat nor drink 3 days, night or day. I also and my maids will fast likewise, and so will I go up to the king, which is not according to the law. If I perish, I perish. So that shout out to that sister Esther for putting her life on the line for her people, which is something that you do not see going on out there as much. Wrap it up. With that, Salaki, I need the prayer book from Salaki. All right, Slack with that. No, it's the dinner ones. It's gonna have the state prayer book on. All right, so we're gonna close out the Lord's Prayer. Amagim. Panyakodum, turn to face the east. For y'all, you just look straight forward. We made it that easy for you guys. There's the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. You can find it in Matthew chapter 6, verse 9 through 13. Now, in English, our Father, art in heaven, be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread.
Give us our daily bread.
Forgive us our debts.
Forgive us our debts.
We forgive our debtors.
We forgive our debts.
Lead us not to temptation.
Lead us not to temptation.
But deliver us from evil.
But deliver us from evil.
Thine is the kingdom.
Thine is the kingdom.
And power.
And power.
Glory.
And glory.
Forever. So be it.
So be it.
All right, men of Israel, Magim Shabbat, Magim, Barak, Yah, Yah Matah. Talk to the sisters. Men of Israel, Magim Shabbat, Magim, Barak, Yah Matah. Pastor Smith. April 12th, Atlanta, Georgia. The Lord 56 annual Passover.
I'm manager in Johanna in Milwaukee. I'm coming to y'all talking about what it takes to build a school. Of course, don't try this at home. You know, it takes more than just being a doctor or saying that you're a doctor. You understand? It takes more than your will and want to steal from black people. You can't steal from them. You know what I mean? You can't promise somebody something and never deliver it. In the UPK, we promised to come to your neighborhoods. We took an oath to do it, to serve our king under Commander General Yohana and raise schools in every city in America. Yet black people decide to send their money to men like Dr. Umar Johnson. You understand? Who's been robbing the community and using that money to get with women. You understand? And also, he hates black people. He hates black kids. You understand? Stop sending your money to men that will never deliver on a promise to serve and protect the nation of Israel. Even though we know y'all stuck in y'all ideology, sooner or later you're going to have to face that. We know you go to the Christian church because those are certain demons that can't fit in the UPK. That's fine. At some point, once you get done and tired and fed up with all of the senseless unaliving from all of our young brothers and sisters, from the abortion rates to the shootouts and the drive-bys that's taking innocent lives, you'll decide, okay, who's really in a position to lead and protect our nation. And I'll tell you right now, it's Commander General Yohana. You understand? So let's see what it takes to build a school, man. Follow me. Now, what it's going to take is the mindset. Much sacrifice. It's going to take the mindset of putting up your own money to build it. You can't, everybody knows it's about business, right? And we in the business of saving blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You don't get nothing out of the business that you don't put in. You got to put in to get out. What we're looking for are the lives, the souls of black, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Yes, you ought to pay your tithes to the Israelite School UPK under Commander General Yohana. Why? Because that's a law. Nevertheless, we don't ask you for your money. Well, this took brothers who's dedicated and got zeal to serve black people. Man, we raised this school up in a month from nothing. When I tell you nothing, I mean absolutely nothing. You'll see it in the video. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah. On 44 shit, you know what I mean? Busy man. Look, when that shit drop, you step all the way on their neck, step on their neck and they head with that shit.
finding. I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel, he nice, but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. They mad, up to solid, circle tight, yeah, vacuum seal. No, they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rank for real. I got real soldiers, kill for me, nigga, watch yourself. They said you been in beast mode lately, you is not yourself. When you dropping that fire, precious marriage, they inquiring. They can't stop what's coming, but I see them conspiring. Cross the line, them firing. This bitch here, finna break the spin. No kindness, I don't trust you, circle small. You can keep your features. Me and my niggas don't keep no secrets. And it feel like Jeepers Creepers. Say they want some smoke, though. So I brought these chimney streets. Coming like we coming, you can't even cap. These niggas don't run it like we running, bitch, don't even start. Bitch, I'm with my niggas till the end, till them do us part. If you wanna leave, you can leave, bitch. Bless your heart, find it. I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel, he nice, but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. Ooh, I got a man.
This is what we do. ISUPK for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian. This is a safe haven. You understand? We building a safe haven right now just for you.
That's right.
You understand? Fuck America, fuck ICE, man. You need a safe place to come.
That's right.
This gonna be that place. If you in Milwaukee, this it. You understand?
Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. This your safe place.
Damn right. You understand? Hey, listen, with that, shalom.
They had that shit on lock till I snapped on them like bolt cutters. You cannot play both sides, gotta choose your colors. See him throwing that one up with that W, that's my blood, bro. Fine in. I ain't show no mercy, I'm gonna show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the dust, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel, he nice, but he don't show the skills, how I show the skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. Ooh, I got a made, circle tight, yeah, back and seal. Said they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rain for real.
I'm the truth, best believe I'ma tell it. People say I'm overzealous, but it's righteous, so I don't care. I left the world, joined One West, what a blessing. People saying we a cope, but I ain't stressing, I don't care. I lost friends, lost hoes, lost foes, but it's the path that I chose to be holy, so I don't care. If you're not my people, we ain't equal, yeah, I said it. You can press it and address it, share it, spread it, shit, I don't care. I was fighting demons even though I knew the truth. All those sins and those vices had to turn me loose. I used to hate my own people for the sins they do. When we all fucked up, that's what evil do. I can see clearly now, I'm talking eagle's view. For centuries, what these devils did to me and you. They took our culture, called us monkeys, yeah, me and you. This is real life from a real nigga view. Leave it up to the doctor to tell the truth. They hung us on them trees for the motherfucking noose. No matter our age or our size, they had to prove. Why y'all these people evil and they think we fools. I had to unlearn the history they taught us in school. And fill my mind with Commander General Hunter's truth. And learn that my people are the real Jews. And ever since then the niggas been foolproof. I'm the truth, best believe I'ma tell it. People say I'm overzealous, but it's righteous, so I don't care. I left the world, joined One West, what a blessing. People saying we a cope, but I ain't stressing, I don't care. I lost friends, lost hoes, lost foes, but it's the path that I chose to be holy, so I don't care. If you're not my people, we ain't equal, yeah, I said it. You can press it and address it, share it, spread it, shit, I don't care.
Turn me up a little bit. Gonna make this feel it. Make 144 the rebel, nigga. Look. The key to survival is formality. And I ain't worried about my rivals, they just casualties. I bring his heart on the planet like Applebee's. Let him lose control. I bet his soul lose gravity. A beast, blood in my teeth, I got them all beat. Circulate that paper with my niggas like Black Wall Street. You know revenge, my love. Yeah, 2 twin Glocks and see your ass in sandstone like the Isley brothers. Better take deep cover. I make them clap back and forth like 2 wives that despise each other. Shit, get into that bag, got the refrigerator full of color. Hey, this that gun smoking gold butter. Handing these little things to my Lord, get a look to kill. I need a bad bitch that look big. If real recognize real, I should look familiar. Fire in my back in the lobby, I burn down the bill. Back on that ass. In case these niggas need proof, they on my sons. I took them all to preschool. He and his feelings better be cool. Cause I chew that beef up, show my tongue now it's seafood. And brought that all to your burial, I'm the pallbearer. This my shit, I sing the throne like a lawn chair. All fair, warfare. Shit, diamond back AR. Work that bitch like a guitar player. Turn down. Fucking with home. Fucking with home. Told me, motherfucker. They tell them niggas turn down. Hold them boys, hold on, you playing with them. One West Coast leader shit. You better tell them niggas turn down. Ain't it beautiful for that fire as usual? Hey, look, hey, tell them niggas turn down. You hear what I'm saying? Yeah. Go ahead. If it ain't that serious, why you hysterical? I survived when niggas died, it's a miracle. Took a loss, but payback's a bitch, she the love of my life. I make her sing like Erica. These niggas weak on the frail side. I leave them wetter than a whale ride. UPK, Hellboy, bring the hellfire. If I can get a piece of heaven, I'm on hell's side. And in the end, I'll be undefeated, Lord, I promise. Shit, I bleed for the creed like a Adonis. Cowards don't get acknowledged. You break the oath, boy, you know the price. We ride together, we die together. Bad boys for life. I get what he wants. Better chill, chump. Run this shit like Forrest Gump. Cause you think I'm playing. Glock with me, that's my Jenny. No leg, just 17 round roll on you like Lieutenant Dan. Turn down. From there. Told me, motherfucker. They tell them niggas turn down. Yeah. Yeah, you know what it is. 140 for the rebel, busy man shit, nigga. They take their head over, nigga.
Red where Eve did to Adam, I just pray my love don't lie to me. Swing the iron like Samson, I can't let no holder lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, all they lies is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Niggas think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying, this shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Circle up and stay alert. Another cop can stretch the nigga. He ain't thinking, this an exorcism. Watch I bless the nigga. You took that open blood, then you know I'm gonna get active with you. From the opposition, I see vision. Let me paint the picture. Rappers claim they spin, I ain't listening. Is in fact the fit. If revenge was a woman, now I stroke that bitch like Jake. So I war, we gon' run the summer. It's gon' be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. Ask who run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crackers, hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I can't do baby. Bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it young baby. How you real trigger know them dots? You a bird feeder, claiming he a demon. What's a demon to a cold leader? When he saying something, I ain't hear him. This shit light. It ain't about who got this gun, it's about who gon' up that fight first. I turn a bad situation to a game change. Bring soldiers from the dead, just raise up the chain. 6 shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never bite the hand that feeds you, you'll never get that hand back.
With the keys.
They say the spirit itself bear witness with my spirit. That we are the children of God. That's why we all black, booted, ready for war like your Howard Shire. Raised under boys and mighty men just so I can
put my brick in and do his work. Put my brick in and do his work. Beat my ribs, she suffer all my hurt. Give her all my love, she about that work. Gotta put my brick in and do his work. Put my brick in and do his work. Papa Shaw, let's prove a word. When the sky falls, it's gonna catch me work. I gotta put my brick in and do his work. Put my brick in and do his work. Put my brick in and do his work. I mean, put my brick in and do his work. Put my brick brick in and do his work. Put my brick in and do his work. Watch my arc and we arbin' out here. We all about it. My father's work. Yahweh, Shai. I'm from Miss Move all the time. My ladies is fine. We follow the order. I told you. Full of culture, you ain't thought of. Streets I was taught on. Type you can barely depart on. Bought, sold, and I fought on. Charges I caught on. They call it the cause of the heart that I got for assault on my block. Snitch, I am not. They for a cop. My enemy sinned against me. I'm a sinner. But what they got in them, they healing baptism of Christ. Screaming Yahweh, Shai. In my battle cry, ready to die, ain't no biggie. How to offend me? I'm litty, she wanna get with me, I'm picky. Digging the rip till she dizzy. Give it a rapture, get her back rubbed, then back to the action. Back in the full metal jacket, never get murked. Putting in my father's work. Never see me with them heathens, my team hated. We the greatest on face of the earth. We the truth, I know it hurt. Fruitless to believe your words. It ain't about nothing, you bluffing. Scared, go to church. True definition.
We handmade everything here. From his table, you understand? All these books we collected, this podium, everything. All the rooms back here, you understand? Right here is where priests only come. You understand? Priests only gotta come up here. Why? Because this is where the most important job happens for black people. You understand? The most important job for black people is education. We have been miseducated here in America like some you never know. Black people, Hispanic and Native Indian people have no clue who they are today. Black people, Native American and Latino people have no clue where they came from. They have no clue that we all family. Listen, we have a safe haven here in Milwaukee, you understand, prepared to do whatever it takes to serve Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You don't have to believe us, just look at the work. Nobody sent, y'all sent all y'all money to Dr. Umar Johnson, and you're asking him, where are the schools? Meanwhile, Commander General Yohana has over 50 schools worldwide. Who should you follow? I'm Captain DeBar Moth, man. Milwaukee, ISUPK, under Commander General Yohana. Big up to all the generals, big up to all the captains, brothers, sisters everywhere in the Israelite School UPK, all over the world. Hey, listen. It will make sense for you to stop playing, grow up, and get in the mindset of really doing something, because as you can see, Donald Trump and Elon Musk they putting the hammer down on everybody. You're gonna need safety. Come to the Israelite School UPK. Check us out in Milwaukee on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, no matter what, all platforms, we're here. With that, shalom.
Put my brick in and do his work. Put my brick in and do his work. Be my rib, she suffer all my hurt. Give her all my love, she about that work. While I put my brick in and do his work. Put my brick in and do his work.
Welcome to Atlanta. Practice Officer 5000, Jeremiah, the camp leader of Atlanta. Passover 2025, starting April the 9th, we got the lamb slaughter. April the 10th, we got General Muhammad's class. April the 11th, we got the black party that's going to have the Hebrew graduation. April the 12th, in Atlanta, Georgia, the 56th annual Passover, the only Passover under Commander Junior Hunter.
Our great and holy King has honored us for turning our lives from the darkness to the light, man. There's no greater gift you can receive than to wake up to the truth and then commit your life to saving your brothers, man. Looking in their eyes and seeing their faces and seeing what they've suffered and what they've gone through and seeing the end of it, man. It is a guaranteed seat in the kingdom of heaven, man. So in the name of our King Yahushua, we dedicate us another Passover of brothers and sisters' lives being saved.
April the 13th, we got the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Shalom.